Imagine that you got a letter from your uncle saying that he needs help on his little farm. And you know, you being a good nephew that you are, you go. Besides, when you get to the farm, it's not a normal farm. This is a freak farm. There's people being milked. There's people laying eggs. But you know, this is just a normal day on Mr. A's farm. Okay, I don't know if you ever heard of Mr. A's Farm, and supposedly it's like one of the most freakiest, nastiest manhwas that's out right now. And a lot of people don't like it because it's like too freaked out. So I read it for you guys, and I want to let you guys know that there is a plot to it. It's just kind of hard to focus on the plot when the plot's kind of freaked out and like furryish. And I promise you, I'm not a furry. It's like knocking on the door of the furry freaking community. If you see me looking over here, I have like I made like a script of like a bullet of like what I want to say because it's like too much to like try to remember from the top of my head. Going into this manga, I would say there's like two main things that you would need to know. First of all, there are hybrids between animals and humans, and basically a disease broke out and it made some humans get some animalistic traits. And the way they like decide if they're like a hybrid is if they have partial mutations. Their body parts have animal features like tails, ears, fur. And this was kind of weird and kind of like too out there, but they have both private parts. They're boys and girls. That really threw me off. And seeing it really threw me off. Okay, so boom, the main character of this manhwa's name is Little A. He gets a letter from his uncle saying that he needs help on his farm because he doesn't have enough workers. And when he gets to the farm, a little boy comes up to him and is like, please help me, my dad, he's stuck or something. Like, and so he goes and follows this little boy into like this little farm shed, and he sees a man tied up and he's getting milked. But he's not like a regular human, he's a hybrid. He's a hybrid of a cow and a human. And he sees that, and when I mean he's getting milked from his chest, like if he was like a cow, and he's just like really stunned, like what the fuck is going on? But then his switch flips like really quickly and his freak mode turns on, and like he just knows what to do because like there's like supposed to be glasses he's supposed to be filling up of the milk, and he's just like helping him. I can't get too in detail, but I just hope you know what I mean by helping. And the inspector finds Little A, like he's literally covered it in milk when he finds Little A, and he's like, who the fuck are you? And he drags Little A into like this little office in the farm, and then he explains how the hybrids came to be, like with the diseases and everything. And then he talks about how they have this government official place called the center where they take all the hybrids, and supposedly it's supposed to be like for relocation and protection. But then the government finds out that these hybrids can also produce things that animals can actually produce, like cows can do milk, chickens can do eggs, sheep can be used for fur, and they're like, oh my gosh, we can put this to use. So they're like putting these people in these centers and using them, and they're like not treating them nicely, by the way. They're like abusing them, whipping them, and just being all weird with them. So Little A's uncle makes this little freak farm to help these hybrids, and then like literally after he's done explaining to him how this all came to be, he literally tells him, but since I just told you all this, you're legally involved in this, so if you tell anybody else, I'm gonna have to kill you. He can't even like say no because he actually like interacted with the hybrid, so that makes it worse. He interacted with one, so like now he has to like, he can't tell anybody this. And then the inspector was kind of like inspecting him. I was like, how did you even know this place? How did you get here? And he was like, oh, my uncle was the manager here. And he was like, oh, so you're like the guy that was sent here. Well, not sent here, but your uncle asked for you to be here because your uncle disappeared, so now we need you to take over the farm. You already got involved, so you might as well just become the manager. So they kind of like gaslit him into being the manager, which was like sad, but he was like low-key into the whole milking thing and like helping the animal hybrid. And one of the main things that really caught my eye when I was reading the scene is he said that you have the same scent as your uncle and you're kind of like us. And I don't know what they meant by like us because they never explained that part, but from how I interpreted it, and this is just what I think, this is like not confirmed, but this is just like what my suggestion is, because this manhwa was not even finished, but it's like very popular right now, and I'm really intrigued. So now I'm just coming up with my own little theories. But I think because you know how they said that some people caught diseases and they turn into these animals, maybe there's like another disease where people caught where they're like protectors of the animals, but I'm not really sure. This is not confirmed. This is just my little theories. In this manhwa, they keep showing this one particular coworker. We're going to call him Emo. Little Emo, they talk about him, they show him or whatever. We can see him clearly getting jealous of Little A because he just came to the farm and he's already getting promoted to a manager. So he's like,
how did he already get the spot and he just came here?
And in my opinion, I think Little Emo is definitely an op. I think he's op of the manhwa. Again, not confirmed, just my little theories. Okay, now we're gonna fast forward to when he has to perform his little freak duties on this little chicken hybrid, and basically he's trying to help the chicken hybrid get out its eggs. It's kind of like a backstory to this chicken hybrid, and that's why I suggest you read it, because I don't want to like spoil the whole entire manhwa. I'm just telling you the main plots that I picked up that I would explain to somebody else if they wanted to read it. But so basically, he walks into the shed and he finds the emo coworker trying to sedate the chicken hybrid with like medicine, and he doesn't take this lightly. Like, he's like, why are you doing this when we built this farm, where my uncle built this farm to help these animals naturally? Like, we don't need this medicine, we don't need this sedation. The emo coworker, he used to work at the center, which was the government's, like how the governments were taking care of these hybrids in a bad way, and they were like taking care of them in a bad way by using these sedates and medicine. That's why he's just like, what the fuck are you doing? We're not at the center, we're at my uncle's farm, and we're gonna do what we need to do, even if we have to get freaky with these animals. Hybrids. I'm sorry, I'm turning this into like a little freaking furry lore. After he sees that he's trying to sedate the animals still, he's like, get the fuck out, like, you're not even allowed here. I'm gonna freak him out and do what I have to do, because you're obviously not even fit right now for this job. And he obviously does freak the chicken really good because all the eggs come out the chicken. And he necessarily doesn't have to freak them out, but it just helps like get them out faster. Like I said, read the manhwa if you want to see the in details how that happened because it's like way too explicit and he was getting in it. That's all I have to say. A couple more things I want to add. There's like a couple of segments where they show little A's kind of like background story, like when he was younger. A couple of things that I noticed was a scene when they showed him at the doctor's with his parents, and the doctors told him that he has a unknown condition, which I think is the freak in him, and that's the scent the guy was talking about. I hope you guys are picking up what I mean on these little theories because I think I'm cooking here. They showed they didn't show it, but they said that there apparently was an accident at the farm with his uncle, and they didn't say what accident. They just said that the uncle was mad at little A. If you really think this is interesting, you're really gonna want to know what happens next. Girl, cause me too, because guess what? It's on hiatus. They were on hiatus right at the freaking goodest part when I was kind of getting intrigued. At first, I was reading this and I was like, what the fuck is going on? But then I was like, oh, this plot's kind of good. Like, we have somebody actually trying to do the work, and then we have somebody that's just trying to do what the government's telling him, and he's just doing it for the money. Might I forget to add, the main reason why they make these farms and have been treating them badly was because these hybrids are creating better products, just as good as normal animals. Like they're saying the milk is very sweet compared to regular cows. The chickens lay better eggs, like, and I think that's why they're exploiting the animals, or like hybrid animals. I don't know why I keep calling them animals. They're hybrids. But if I seriously had to make my conclusions on this manhwa, of course I'm gonna say it's very freaked out already. They didn't even get to the boom shka boom boom yet, but it's already has me intrigued. If we're talking about it on a more deeper level, I think it really does talk about trauma and emotions and bonding very well. I just think that it's very overlooked by the fact that it's very freaked out. Like with the chicken, I mean, like you have to understand the chicken's background story because they do talk about some serious issues and like abuse of like how they were treating the hybrids at like the center. I hope I would kind of like explain this kind of good because I know I'm not that good at explaining, and I use my little script and it's still like not even the best script. Like I know I could have made it better and more organized. These are just a few things that I took away from Mr. A's farm. I'm waiting for the hiatus to lift because I'm very intrigued and I want to see how this ends. We didn't even see all of the animals. Why am I still saying animals? I wouldn't get to see all the hybrids at the farm. I'm like, I'm kind of wanting more.